What's going on, guys? Care of Your Reptiles here. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. Today won't be a long video, but I'll just be going over why blood pythons became my favorite species during my short period of time keeping snakes in general. So a lot of you know I did start off with ball pythons, and while ball pythons are amazing snakes, and they are one of the snakes that I recommend for a beginner keeper, I just needed something a little bit more, something a little bit bigger but not humongous, something with a little bit more personality, and blood pythons fit that category. Not only did they fit that category, not a lot of people are keeping these guys. There is a broad spectrum of keepers that do work with blood pythons, but ball pythons are all over the world. They are, very known, and you can jump on Morph Market or go inside of a pet store and you'll be lucky to not find a ball python. That's how many of them that there are. It's kind of hard finding blood pythons locally. You can get them from Morph Market easily. Just reach out to a breeder, purchase one. But these guys aren't readily available. You can't just go to a store and walk in them and like, okay, I want a blood python, I'm gonna get it. Some stores have them now just because they are becoming more prevalent, but still nowhere near a ball python. Another reason that these guys are my favorite species of snake is because the keepers that keep these guys are, how can I put it? The people that work with blood pythons are very helpful in a sense. Everybody that I've communicated with, reached out to for general questions, husbandry advice, just simple handling questions, feeding questions, etc. Everybody was, more than welcome to help because of the severity of keeping these guys. And I'm more than grateful for everyone that was willing to help me out. When I first got into ball pythons, the groups that I joined weren't so welcoming. So ball pythons were my first snake, and I didn't really have anybody to ask any questions to directly. So I joined maybe 5 or 6 Facebook groups, and there were some people that were pretty nice, but the majority of the people were kind of bashing me because I was asking questions. So I'm like, well, if I'm looking for help to properly care for the animal that you guys say I'm not properly caring for, which, again, I started off with ball pythons, so I know for a fact that I wasn't fully advanced mentally to properly care for them. But that's why I joined those groups. I joined those groups and reached out to those people for help so I could properly care for my animals. And tons of people were just bashing me, and they weren't, as helpful as the blood python community. So the people in this space, nobody has bashed me for anything, not a single person. A lot of people have given me the advice and kind of given me a straight and narrow direction in which they believe that I should go. But everybody here is more than willing to help. Everybody's super open, super kind. And I couldn't be more grateful for that. Another reason that bloods are my favorite snake is because they get about the same size and length as ball pythons, but they get super girthy. So they are the perfect snake if you are looking for a larger snake that doesn't get humongous. So the size on them I'm seeing is kind of sparse because there is like some very large females, but the average weight that I'm hearing for these guys is somewhere between 15 to 30 pounds, which is still pretty heavy for a snake. But I have been seeing some stuff where there's been some larger females recorded, so I'm not going to get into that just because I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to go down that route, but these guys can get pretty big. Actually, somebody just posted, I'm not sure if they posted it yesterday, but I saw it yesterday. They posted in the Blood Python Facebook group that they had a male that calculated out at 7 feet long, which is kind of crazy for a male, but that just goes to show that these guys can get pretty big. So there goes that one. Another reason that bloods are my favorite is because of the morphs that they come in. So there is quite a few morphs, definitely not as many as ball pythons, But there is beginning to, we're starting to get a lot of rarer morphs in this space, and these guys are just, they're beautiful. They're beautiful animals. So these guys are definitely my dream snake. Had I found these guys before I found ball pythons, I probably would have went for these first, but I'm glad that I found those ball pythons first before these guys, because I'm not the person that wants to buy on impulse, and that's probably what I would have done at that time and regretted it, just because I wasn't mentally ready for such a snake. But now I am, and I'm taking that time to kind of ease my way into it. So I'm glad I'm here now, and eventually working towards something greater. Eventually I do want to breed these guys, nothing at a large scale, just seeing what I can produce on my own terms. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Take care of your reptiles.